Hello, everyone. Thank you all for coming to another Icon Bootcamp. For those of you all who have no idea who I am Asa Laveau, Icon architect, founder of House of Icons. I am going to let you know right now that I'm going to get right into things, okay? So I get it that if you are watching this, it is likely that you have not either written or published your book. It is the end of 2024 at the time in which this is being done. And so I am thinking about you so that this time next year, you don't have to have this particular challenge or this particular thought around getting a book done, your book done. There is no reason why people don't know what you're thinking about. There is no reason why your expertise is going to waste. There is no reason that you have to die with that story in you. There is no reason why you're not selling books right now. There is no reason why you're not planning your next book signing. Like, there is no reason for any of that. And so as a result of coming here, we're going to solve that problem. We're going to solve that challenge for you expeditiously and thoroughly. That is my guarantee. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. So this is, again, the Icon Bootcamp. How to publish your book in 2025. I say again, this is the Icon Bootcamp. How to publish your book in 2025. I am your Icon architect and founder of House of Icons. We are going to get right into it. So let's. All right. So how I deliver content, whether it's the Icon Bootcamp, whether it's a speaking engagement, whether it's just a talk with a client, is through the Icon method. What is the Icon method? It is the framework in which our deliverable of content action steps are performed. So what does it stand for? It's an acronym for the word ICON. It stands for Imagine, Create, Optimize, Nourish. I say again, the ICON method is an acronym that stands for what? Imagine, Create, Optimize, Nourish. Yes, I'm already teaching. Yeah, I'm already in this. So that is how we will move forward with the content for how to publish your book in 2025. If you would like to invite someone to this space, feel free. You have my permission. You have my unmitigated permission. Feel completely free to invite this content to anyone, because at this right now moment, you're getting it the way you're getting it. So, but I would love to have them just know what to do. So what makes me an expert in this space? I have been publishing books since 2012. Right. I have been publishing books, I say again, since 2012. I have done 6 books so far. As a result of writing those 6 books, co-writing a couple of those 6 books, publishing those 6 books, I have been able to get international professional speaking engagements with, I'll be in South Africa next year. We've already booked that out. I've also been able to, let's just be honest, pay rent. I have been able to pay rent from publishing books. I've also been able to garner clients in a way that is not cheap. I'll say that. They found me through books. I've been able to sell my books in bulk to conferences as a resource for every single conference attendee. I've been able to have my books in libraries. I've been able to have my books in Walmart. If you go to Walmart right now, you look up Asa Laveau, you will see what I've done. And I've been able to support over 25 other authors to become best-selling authors. That's what I have done. I would love to support you with that, if you so choose. But without further ado, let's just get into it. So remember, we are going to be going through this in the Icon method: Imagine, Create, Optimize, Nourish. I will also be providing you resources. Also, House of Icons is in fact a resource. We currently have the author Launchpad available for enrollment. It's open right now. It's only for 10 individuals. That cohort is closing soon, but just for 10 individuals. And if you stay to the end, I will support you with that enrollment. That is a promise. I will support you with that enrollment in a significant way if you stay until the end. So let's get right into it. So let's talk about imagine. So you desire to publish a book. So what's this imagine piece? Number one, let's imagine your why. Why are you doing this? Why are you writing the book? Now, there is nothing wrong with any of the reasons that you can imagine. If you are imagining doing a book for a money move, then let the book be the money move. If you are doing this book because you want to prove to your first grade teacher who told you wouldn't be anything, then let's do it. Like, do it. If this is to showcase to your significant other that how knowledgeable you truly are, then let that be the reason. If you desire to be some type of legacy for your children, grandchildren, nieces, nephews, people at the center, like whatever that is for you. But just make sure you're clear with everything. I'm not going to demonize any of your reasons because your reason is your reason. But please imagine why you're doing this. The next thing, please imagine your target audience. Who is that person? So I get it. Yes, imagine your target audience. I'm going to start there as far as the terminology is concerned, because a lot of times you're probably used to terminology like that, like your target audience. But what I'm truly thinking about is the one person, that one human that you know would just be curled up with your book, either in paperback form or electronic form, and they are getting their entire life as a result of consuming your content through book form. Who is that one person? Is this a little black boy in Atlanta? Is this a 55-year-old Asian woman who's a veteran in Sacramento? Is this a Brazilian professor living in Sao Paulo? Is this a widow in Rome, Italy? Like, who is your person that you see, that you're literally writing your book as a love letter to them, all right? So imagine that. Now let's go back to your why. So you might be thinking like, Asa, I'm not sure. I'm really not sure how to imagine my why. Well, you can do some things. So you can look at Google Trends. Google Trends is a resource that can support you with articulating your why. You also have something called Answer the Public. I say again, Answer the Public. And then finally, Uber Suggest for getting support around defining, imagining your why. I'm going to keep giving you resources. We already know that House of Icons is a resource with the author launchpad, but depending on where you are in your journey, you might not be ready for that particular container. So I'm going to support you in any way I can. Now, I talked about imagining who this is for. So a tool that can support you with imagining who this is for is Personas by Extensio. Personas by Extensio. How am I spelling Extensio? Xtensio. I will spell that again. Xtensio. For my veteran siblings out there, that is X-ray, Tango, Echo, November, Sierra, India, Oscar. All right. So that's how you do Personas by Extensio. The next thing that I desire for you to imagine as you are getting things together to publish your book in 2025 is imagine the book concept. Seriously, what is the angle or a hook of your book? As the icon architect of House of Icons, my job and our mission is to transform experts, whether they be rewind. My job and our mission is to transform executives, no matter if they are an entrepreneurial executive or a corporate executive. We transform those executives into celebrity experts so that they can be regarded as icons in their industry. I'll say that again. My job, my love, my plan, and our mission is to transform executives into celebrity experts so they can be regarded as icons in their industry. That is why House of Icons exists, and that is why I love doing what I do. So with that being said, this is a continuation. So you have the expertise. You've already defined what that is. You know what you're good at. You do. You honestly know what you're good at. But now it's time to position your expertise so that you can now do what? Monetize your expertise. So this book is a positioning tool so that the money can come quicker, sooner, and faster. That is the point of all of this. Let's just be clear about this. That is the point of all of this. It's not the end. Yes, we care about who's reading the book. Yes, we care that it's well written. Yes, we care that people's lives are changed. Yes, we care that it was done well and intellectual property is a thing. All those. And is a continuation of what's next, okay? So please don't get hung up that the book is like the end goal. It is so not the end goal. It is just another step in the evolution of your expertise. That is all right? So, and I say that to say, when you are imagining your book concept as far as the angle or the hook, because when it's time to go on podcasts, radio shows, television, whether that be national television or a city ran station, it's important to be able to articulate that and articulate that well in something we call a soundbite. So not being there forever. Like they ask you one question and 5 minutes later, you're still talking, because let's just be honest, your segment is not going to be 5 minutes. And so it's important to be brief. But that's later. I'm already attempting to give you media training, and that's not what this is for. So remember, imagine the book concept. The tools that can support you with getting a better unique angle or a hook. Of course, we all have come knowledgeable around ChatGPT or Jasper. That's another platform, Jasper, to brainstorm or refine a particular concept. Okay, so we just went over the imagine section or the imagination pillar of the icon method. All right, we have 3 more to go. Let's do it. Now it's time to do what? Create. C is for create. It is time to actually create the book that you are going to publish in 2025. So, writing. Yeah, it's actually time to write. It's amazing how many times I talk to people. I'm like, so you're going to publish your book? Like, yeah. I'm like, so when are you going to start writing it? Oh, that's the thing. Well, yeah, that's the thing. Like, I need you to write the book. So the first thing is I need you to create a writing space. Like, actually create that writing space. Could be a coffee shop. That writing space could be at your mother's house. That writing space could be in a particular nook in your own home. That writing space could be at the local library. Just choose whatever that writing space, create that. Just create it. The next thing I'm going to ask you to do or tell you to do is to create a writing schedule. So you have times that you need to write, whether that's Tuesdays and Thursdays from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m., or they are every other Thursday at 5. Whatever that is, just put it on the calendar. Yes, I said put it on the calendar. Create the writing schedule, okay? Now, all you need, the only tool you need to choose the space is a decision. Like, just say it and go forth. The other thing is in regards to what tools you need to actually create a writing schedule, the only thing you need is a calendar. If you have a smartphone, you have a calendar. But if you're more tactile than that, then pull out your planner and just write it in. What is my writing schedule going to be for the next at least 90 days? At least 90 days, okay? I think you can do that. I have faith in you that you can do that. Okay, so now let's talk about the actual writing process. When I give people the method as far as getting the book done, as far as the outline, because you need an outline. Tools that can support you with creating your outline is going to be Scrivener. That's Scrivener. That's Scrivener or Scrivener. Also Hemingway Editor, or simply Google Docs as you create your outline. So if you're like, Asa, I have not written since school, or Let's just be honest. I didn't even write in school. So if that's you, that's fine. What I'm going to offer you is the 10-10-10. So what I say is write. Of course, you have the book concept, because we already talked about that. We imagined the book concept, so that's already a thing. So you have that. Next, so your book concept is going to be basically the book title, a working title. The next thing I need you to do is write 10 big supporting phrases, words that can support that particular concept of your book, okay? Those 10 are going to be your chapters, okay? So whatever those 10 are, great. Awesome. They can be in chronological order. You can there's a lot of different ways to write books. And so if you are just clear about your way forward, then you're awesome. Then just keep doing that, all right? So you have your book concept. Next, you have your 10 chapter titles, working chapter titles. You're not married to anything just yet. So for each single chapter, I need you to write 10 supporting ideas to support that chapter. Why? These are going to be your 10 paragraphs for that particular chapter. Yes, each chapter will have 10 paragraphs, okay? And then you go even deeper. Your 10 paragraphs each have 10 sentences per paragraph, all right? And if now you need to know what about structure of your paragraph, things like that, we're getting to that. It's coming. But as far as creating the writing process, creating the outline, what did I just say? Have 10 chapter ideas, working chapter ideas. And then for each chapter idea, you have 10 paragraphs for each chapter, and you have 10 sentences for each paragraph. Now, these things are called Post-its. Utilize these, or index card, or hell, get some napkins from the restaurant and write it on a napkin. What you will not do is sit here and give me an excuse. Excuses are the tools of the incompetent, used to build monuments of nothingness, and those that use them will rarely amount to be anything. I say again, excuses are the tools of the incompetent, used to build monuments of nothingness, and that those that use them will rarely amount to be anything. So please don't give me an excuse. And I'm removing every excuse you think you might have. You can't, you're not going to give me any of those. I think we're clear on that. So going forward, we've already created the writing process. You may want to get some support with AI. So you can always use Pseudo-Write. That's a tool. You also have Grammarly Go. That's also a tool that can support you with AI. So after you, of course, you've done the writing, you've knocked out the chapters, you've done that complete outline, you've definitely cared about punctuation and grammar along the way. Don't wait to the end. Now, of course, if you want to, of course, there is a continuation or methods of writing. So some people edit as they go. Just same way directors in movies. There are directors in movies that will shoot a scene and they will edit it before the end of the day, or at the end of the day, instead of waiting till the entire movie is done and they spend months, maybe years in the editing. Same thing with writers. Some writers are editing as they go. Some are doing complete brain dump. They're like, rah, okay, just dump it on the paper. If that's you, dump it on the paper. I don't care how you do it. Just do it. Seriously, people, just do it. You can always edit. So let's talk about the editing. You can always collaborate with a professional editor, but you can also learn how to self-edit. So the tools that you can use to do that are the Pro Writing Aid, also Grammarly, and something called Reedsy. That's Reedsy. So I said Pro Writing Aid, Grammarly, or Reedsy. Those are editing, proofreading tools to support you moving forward. Now remember, the Author's Launchpad that is currently open for enrollment, we support you with everything that I've just said. Everything that I've said so far and everything that I'm going to say, the Author's Launchpad supports you in that, all right? Now, let's talk about this book cover. I am sick and tired of seeing raggedy ass book covers. Let's just, these are raggedy ass book covers. Now, I will say this. If you go back and you look at some of the book covers that I have been a part of, you'll say, now, Asa, I know you're not out here talking about nobody's book cover. I am, because I can acknowledge when mine was trash too. Like, there's a book cover right now that when I see it, I'm like, I don't regret it, and I can always redo it. That may be a thing I need to put on my 2025 plan. But yeah, it's atrocious. But at least people see the evolution of me getting better and better. So if you work with us, we're going to ensure that your book is done well. A client we just supported last month with publishing their book. He is definitely still raving about how exceptional his book looks. And so because we don't play about that. I care about things that are aesthetically pleasing in every way. So that's why. Now, what are some tools that can support you with getting your book cover? Of course, you can go out and hire somebody for the book cover, but you can also use tools such as Canva Pro. Yes, the Pro Edition. The Pro Edition. Also, Fiverr or 99 Designs. Those are the ones that are widely known. You'll find some people there. Now, let's talk about typesetting. Typesetting, the interior design, the way that the book looks inside. Yes, I have looked at books enough from this point of view to open books up and like, ooh, this book is not designed. Like the interior design is a mess. There are hanging words. The margins have been obliterated. Like somebody just said, margins, what's that? But that's an important part of publishing your book in 2025 is making sure that your margins are good. So with that being said, there are different tools that you can use. You can hire people for sure, but you can also use tools like Vellum, Vellum. That's for the Mac users out there. Reedsy has a book editor, Adobe InDesign as well. You can also find people on Fiverr, find people on Upwork. Sometimes you might be able to just make a social media post and somebody comes to you to support you that you know. That's a possibility as well. There is no right or wrong here. People have done it many different ways, okay? Everybody has their way. It doesn't necessarily make it the right way. It's just a way. So we've talked about imagine, and we also talked about creating. The third step, the third pillar in the Icon method is optimizing. What is optimizing? Making it better. Like, how can we make it better? All right. So how do we make it better? So we want to make sure that now the book is written, we got to make sure that people can, actually get it. And so how do they get it? By making sure you choose your publishing platform. Your publishing platform is the platform in which your book is housed in order for it to connect to the audience that you desire so that you can do what? Be paid. I say again, be paid. I say it again, be paid. That is significant. Why? Because I see sometimes people are calling themselves best-selling authors and they're giving the book away for free. You did not sell anything. You are a best giver, not a best seller. There is a designation. No shade, no judgment, but there is a difference between a bestseller and a best giver. So don't get caught up being a best giver reality and calling yourself bestseller because it's not real. All right, but your publishing platforms that you can publish on are Amazon Kindle Direct, which is commonly referred to as KDP. That's Amazon's platform. Also Ingram Spark, and then finally Draft to Digital. Okay. Now remember, you are going to choose at this moment when you are doing your publishing platforms. You're going to choose whether you want to do an ebook, whether you want to do an audiobook, print on demand. All these different versions are ways in which to make it better. And there are publishing platforms for every different version. There are sometimes you can do multiple versions within one platform, so it can be a one-stop shop for you, okay? Next, let's talk about metadata and keywords. So when you are setting up your publishing platform, even your website, there is going to be a question around your keywords. So when you're thinking about the concept of your book, what type of person is going to read the book, what the result is going to be once the book is read, that's how your keyword can be supported. There is a tool called Publisher Rocket. I say again, Publisher Rocket can support you with getting better, knowledgeable about metadata and keywords. Okay. Now we can talk about intellectual property protection. Yep, IP is significant. IP is significant. Once you publish a book, you need to be copywritten. So Resource is the U.S. Copyright Office. You can, so if you went to the U.S. Copyright Office and you typed in Asa Laveau, you will see the books that I published. Yeah. So you can do that with any author. So I am not a patent attorney. I'm not a trademark attorney. So I will say that it's important. I will say that is necessary. I will say that you don't know to mess this up. I will say that it will be supported for you in the author launchpad, and I need you to consult a trademark and or copyright attorney for things that are specific to your particular journey. Okay, but they are imperative to consider. You don't want to be out here, okay? Don't be out here looking crazy. Because Asa told you. I told you already. All right, so next, ISBN and barcodes. Your ISBN and barcodes, those are the little codes on the back of the book that you scan at bookstores, and it tells how much it is. Yes, as someone who self-publishes, those are important. I recommend that you get your own ISBN. Again, I say I recommend you own and control your own ISBN and barcodes. I do. I cannot say that enough. I do. I don't want anybody else to own your ISBN. I just really don't. I want you to have your own. A resource to get your ISBNs and barcodes is Bowker Identifier Services. That's Bowker, that's BOWKER Identifier Services, okay? Next, after we've done all of that, it really is time to get started on that marketing. So how do we make this better? Creating visuals on socials, creating visuals that you can use in paper form at book signings, at book fairs, community events, what have you. What are some ways in which you can get that? I already talked about Canva Pro, but you also have Midjourney. Midjourney is a resource that you can use for creating custom visuals, and you also have a tool called BookBrush for promotional assets and even ads. Okay, so that's how you do that. So we just went over all 3 of the 4. We're more than there, everyone. We are more than there. You just did 3 out of the 4 pillars of the Icon method. So that's the 4th one. The 4th one is Nourish. We already did Imagine. We did Create. We did Optimize. The final step is to Nourish. This is about the marketing and sustaining the author journey. All right. So let's talk about book launch strategy. Yes, you need a strategy. I say again, you need a strategy for your book launch. Yes, you do. There's a reason why I have been able to experience getting bestseller status in categories from weeks to hours. I have those experiences for myself and for clients. So yeah, anything from weeks to hours. Yeah, that's a real thing in our world. But there has to be strategy behind it. Like the buzz for the pre-sales, virtual launch parties, getting early reviews. All of these things and more are a part of your book launch strategy. One resource that you can use for this is something called NetGalley. That's NetGalley. That's NetGalley to support you. Also, social media content plan. There has to be one. I don't need you talking about everything else. I don't need you sharing everybody else's posts. I don't need you posting things that aren't public. Like, why are you posting things to friends only? And you're trying to make this book, it needs to be available. Everybody don't need to know my business. Yes, everybody needs to know your business so you can sell these books. So get out of that and make that post public. So social media content plan. You also have a tool for that. You have Hootsuite. You also have Buffer. You have Icon Connect. Those are resources to support you with social media plan. Podcast guesting. So ensuring that you get out there, so you talk about your book on different podcasts. We have an Icon podcast directory with over 700 podcast contacts that you have access to once you join the Authors Launchpad. We would love to have you. We have 10 spots available, but that's available for you. Email marketing. Email marketing is so significant. Whether you have an email list of 5 or whether you have a list of 55,000, it's still imperative of the support. And so different tools that you can use to support your email marketing are going to be MailChimp is one. ConvertKit is another. Icon Connect is another for your email marketing. All right, so let's talk about analytics and adjustments. Why? Because you want to track your book's performance and you want to tweak things. This is where you tweak things. And so your tools for that are going to be, of course, Google Analytics and the Amazon Author Central. Amazon Author Central. Okay, so that's it. To recap our Icon Bootcamp, how to publish your book in 2025. We went over the Icon method, which is imagine, create, optimize, nourish. I gave you over 20 resources to support you in publishing. So you have that. Everything from choosing the time to write to tweaking the analytics to track the book's success. Everything. Now, there is, of course, more. I was doing my best to be mindful of your time because I want you to go out and live life. There's so much life, so many pretty people to talk to. Like, seriously, so much music to dance to. And so this is not the end all be all of your life. And I get that. It's not the end all be all of mine either. There are so many ways to live and consume life. And so I want you to live it. However, you publishing a book can greatly increase how your life is lived. It can. And it has for me. I can look back and say that it has. And we would love to support you going further. So how do you get support further? Well, go into enrolling into the Authors Launchpad. Remember, what is the Authors Launchpad? The Authors Launchpad is our 6-month container for 10 individuals to be supported in a done with you and done for you model. So there are going to be some things that have to be done with you. So making sure, keeping you accountable to, the word count that you do this week, those type of things, but holding your proverbial hand, but you got to do it. Like, you actually have to do the work, or you actually have to do the writing. I won't call it work out, but you have to do the writing. We do not allow AI to write for us in the Authors Launchpad. We do not suggest that. We don't play about that, because you need to be able to, number one, honestly state that this book is your intellectual property in case somebody tries to, say that you didn't write it and that AI did. We're not going to have that. So if you would like to be supported in that done with you way, but also the done for you way. When I say a done for you way, like who's going to make sure your book cover is done? Who's going to do your social media content for you? Who's going to do your email marketing for you? Who's going to do your website for you? Who's going to do your book launch strategy? We are in that 6-month container. We are going to do that. And who's going to ensure, and yes, I say guarantee, that you hit bestseller status? We are. So we would love to support you at House of Icons sooner rather than later. When those 10 spots go, those 10 spots go. I will not be giving 11. I only have capacity for 10. I've done my 2025 planning. I only have the capacity for 10 people. Now, I told you if you wait until the end, I was going to support you in a blessing-filled way, in a bountiful way. So, since you have stayed to the end, when you go to houseoficons.co/author launchpad, I say again, go to www.houseoficons.co/author launchpad. I say one more time. If you go to www.houseoficons.co/author launchpad, we will be able to support you with $1,000 towards you being enrolled into the author launchpad that there are only 10 spots for. Now, that 1,000, how do you get that 1,000? What is the discount code that will support you? Icon. Of course, come on, branding is real. Why would it not? Why would it be something else? So go to www.houseoficons.co/author launchpad. When you, in the enrollment form, use the code ICON to get $1,000 towards your yes. And we begin on January 15th. That's when the container begins. There are multiple frequently asked questions on the site. However, feel free, and I mean this. I mean this. Feel free to comment, DM, email, two-way, passenger pigeon, like whatever means it takes for you to reach us to get your questions answered. Do that. It's okay. You're not bothering anybody that you want to get more information, even if you don't buy it. It's okay. No one connected to me is going to be like, I can't believe that they went and asked a question and they didn't even buy. That's why you ask questions. It's really okay. They're just questions. So we would love to support you in that way. Go to www.houseoficons.co/author launchpad. Feel free again to invite anyone to this Icon Bootcamp. There will be more in the future. And as always, I am Asa Laveau, your Icon architect, dreams and radical